Hello bros, and welcome to Aspect Zero BroFive production and the next part of Sakura Fantasy Chapter 1 Part 12. Just no confusion. I wonder actually if he will do a part 2, because I suspect a little bit that he might not actually do it, because seriously, he didn't do a second part of Sakura Spirit. Start recording right here. So this is it. We just finished our last training session. We're finally going to leave the capital behind today. All this training and... No! What? Hi. Oh, you are wet. My cat is wet like a... Don't lie down in my bed. Don't lie down in that. No, no. No, here. There. Lie down there. Damn, he's wet. All the training and indulgence has led to this. I can't help but feel nervous. No! I'm gonna block you if you keep calling me. I can't help but feel nervous. The start of a journey is never easy. Gwyn and Kara will be with me though. With their gift of stone and lightning, what could possibly beat us? Something that can beat stone and lightning, probably. A stone crusher. Zeus. I just hope we don't encounter those siege beasts that Kara mentioned. Forcing wouldn't help me at all with that. Ardina told us that she would personally send us on our way. I'm still not ready to face her after what happened the other night. She'd probably banish me from the city for spying on her. I don't think she would do that. Either way, it's nervous wait as she stands in the training grounds. The novices have come out to watch us leave too. Their support makes quite a difference. Though they're completely silent at the moment. Actually, I'm gonna just get out of that conversation, because I hate Skype forever. Though they're completely silent at the moment. The tension out in the air is thick that you could cut in The tension in the air is so thick that you could cut it with a blade. There's no excitement about going on an adventure anymore, just a sense of anticipation. All three of us just stand around idly, waiting for the Empress to see us off. We're all afraid, I can feel it. Only Kira knows what we may see while we're in the mires. Gwyn and I have only had our visions a day. I know that Gwyn is a lot more afraid than I am, though. She's shuffled back and forth nervously, triple checking that she has everything she needs in her bag. I swear that I see sparks or two fly from the fingertips as she waits. Hopefully she doesn't call down a bolt of lightning by mistake. Kira doesn't seem to be doing much either. Not much better. She brooding herself, her face fixed into a deep scared-looking scowl. Over and over again she taps her boots, covered foot and bare dirt beneath her. No one says anything. We all know what everyone is thinking. We had our speeches about courage and reassurance each other through this whole month. Idle in luxuries and finished whatever business we may have had in the capital. But now we are here. We are terrified. I can't let my fears overtake me though. This is finally a chance to return to my old home. Most important, this is the chance to be a heroine. Heroine. Is this seriously called that when they are a girl that is a hero? Hopefully not a dead heroine though. Reassure everyone. I know we're all afraid, but I think it'll be fine. This is what we've been training for, right? No one responds. We just fall back into the same brooding silence. Quinn also tries to break it. Kara, you've been in the mires before, right? Yes. A very short reply. Do you think we'll make it? I don't know. She obviously not feeling very friendly at the moment. Gwyn lowers her eyes after Kara's blunt dismissal. Okay, I won't ask, sorry. Thank you. She looks really tense, tenser than I ever seen her even. Ever. Going into the mine must have her nervous too. We all been told how foul the mires are and how nothing wholesome grows within them. Kira knows all about the first hand though. I will return somewhere as evil as the mires. I can only admire her bravery. If she can confront her fears, then I can too. Really? Do you think you're ready? As ready as I can be. I can't exactly turn my skin into stone or through lightning, though. We'll use you to scout the area when we set up camp. You should be able to use your forcing while you're there, right? That's a good point. I can't foresee into the mires from here, but it might be a different story once I'm there. It's possible. I can use my foreseen to get a bird eye view if we need it. Good. You're going to make sure that we don't get lost. I can climb to the treetops and set markers to keep track of our progress. Markers? Oh, kind of like how the olden days. Then have a chiseled stone to mark the way through forests. Why do you have to place them at the treetops though? Because we can't afford to backtrack to see where we are going. These markers are enchanted to remain in the air for extended periods of time. We merely have to look to the sky to see where we're going. Is that all we're going to really do? No, the Empress assures me that she would give us the means to navigate through the forest. Between that and the beacons, we should be able to find our way. She seems really concerned with knowing exactly where we are in the mires. It's nice to know that we aren't going to get lost then. That's the least of our worries, Gwyn. There are much worse things than getting lost out there. Right. Anyway, I'm going to need you two to watch my back when I'm setting the beacons. There are numbers of monsters that wander through the treetops. They are not stupid, so they don't treat them like they are. As we discuss Kara's plans to navigate the mires, the eternal figure steps out from the entrance to the training grounds. Ardina, our Empress, has finally arrived. Kara grows silent as she watches Ardina slowly approach us. Greeting, Empress. Greeting, Kara. Trust you have been busy training as always? Yes, we are as ready as we ever be. I'm glad to hear that. Slowly she turns to look at Gwyn. What of you, Gwyn? Have you learned to control your gift yet? As much as I can, you Empress. She seems to be sizing us up, measuring our worthiness. You are all ready. You have no idea how grateful I am for your help. I so sincerely wish I could join you in person, but I have my duties here. To abandon all of these people when they are afraid would not be fitting for an empress. You have you have my blessing, and I will make sure to keep in touch with you. Both Gwyn and Kira looks at each other skeptically. My empress, how exactly do you plan to do that? With what looks like a smirk of her face, the empress looks over at me. I have my means, Gwyn. Of course. She planned to use my forcing somehow. You will know when you see it. Now, what exactly does she mean by that? How could she possibly help us out there? We have to rely on our own wits and skill in the mires, as Kira has been telling me for the last few weeks. Well, there's no point in delaying this any further. We're marching to the mires. Come on, you two. There's not much I can do to argue about that. It's finally time to go to face my fears. Before we leave, Ardina reaches out to me. There's something clasped in her hand. Take it. What could she be giving me at the last moment? As I reach forward, she presses something hard and circular into my hand. Looking more closely, I find a strange-looking compass. A tiny shard of some kind is crystal sits in the middle of it. The shard hovers just below the glass surface. Where is this pointing to exactly? It will help you find the star. I would not be so foolish as to send you in there with no means of finding your way. Even with your forcing and Kira's plan, if you were to become lost in the mires, you would never find your way out. The very trees and ground will move against you to ensure you lose your way. I cannot let that weight on my conscience to simply send you to die. So consider this my parting gift to you. Please, for the sake of the entire empire, make it back alive. The gravity of what I'm doing fully weighs on me after she says that. I'm going to be leaving the capital for the first time in many years. I'm going to be exploring one of the most dangerous places imaginable. A place from which it is said that no one has ever emerged alive from before. To find a fallen star which has some significance that I could only guess at. Would I have agreed to this if there were anyone but the Empress asking me to do it? Actually, I would have gone there without anyone asking me. But I'm an idiot, of course. Probably not. I've seen maybe things during my time. I've seen many things during my time, Merlin. I know life, love, death. I know that above all else, life is fragile. So protect your life. Protect the lives of your fellow warriors. Go now, the mires await you. Thank you, Empress. Thank you, Empress. No, thank you, Relin. She turns her back to us, leaving the training ground in her usual graceful manner. There's no turning back now. It's time to face the mires. This is gonna be fun. It was a long trip from the capital to the walls. The guards at the walls had pleaded with us not to leave. But there obviously wasn't something we could do. The green grass plains quickly gave way to the sickly and disgusting swamp. All of this filth and decay that they are walking through now. It's strangely familiar. I can't quite remember where I've seen anything like this before though. The dream where your neighbor got killed. Tick sickly looking on the grove creeps across defeated ground. It is as if the plans of swallowing the very land with their withered growth. Merely taking a step is enough to make your blood turn to ice. The squeaking noise that echoes through the stepping on the ground is nauseating. The vines hanging in front of the face seems to have warts and crisps growing on them. Everything about this place is dark, damp, and disgusting. The sun barely makes it through the canyon, giving us only a few rays of light to see where we are walking. I can't help but notice that it feels like we're being watched too. Whenever I went to the gardens in the capital, they were always bursting with life and animals. Here, everything is silent. It's as if the entire forest is dead. Yet I was told that there were all kinds of beasts that wandered the mires. Are they all hiding from us, or can we simply not see them in the dark undergrowth? Kira seems to not be so worried by her surroundings, though. Looking at her push forward fearlessly renews my own resolve. Gwen isn't coping so well, though. Everything here feels wrong. It's filthy and cankerous. I know books I read describe this as sickness, but it's different to see it in person. All this foul mud and slime and vines and insects. It will be alright. It will be alright, Gwyn. Stop talking, spend more time listening. Kira's acting as if instructing once again. We try following the path Kira makes for us through the mud, but even then it's hard to work. Gwyn seems to be having the most trouble with it. All those skipped the training session to attend her scholarly duties have caught up with her. Her armor coated in mud and other foul substances, she looks absolutely miserable. It's so much mud. Why must there be so much mud? Because it's a swamp. Kira barely looks back when she responds. Because it's a swampland. As I said! While they're true, she could be a bit more sympathetic than that. Come on, Gwyn, you'll be fine. There will be lots of hot baths when we get home. My words only seem to make her more unhappy. When will we get home then? When we retrieve the star. The Empress wouldn't be pleased if we return without it. Hearing that really upsets Gwyn. But she does her best not to show it. She does what falter before we even get there. I would trade my noble birth for some courage right now. Actually, I wouldn't care if I were noble or not. Seriously. Don't worry, Kira. And don't worry, Kira and I are here. You're going to be fine. That comforts her a little bit, just enough for her to keep going. This is going to be a very long trip for all of us, I think. We have to keep our spirits up if we're going to make it to the star. We don't even know if we actually landed in the mires either. It was somewhere far to the north. I'm not sure how far. There hasn't been anyone who ventured beyond the mires in a very long time. It's unknown what lies beyond this foul swamp. What if there's even darker places waiting for us ahead of this rancid forest? As we're walking along, something splatters me in the face, causing me to stop. Whatever it is, slimy and cold. Actually, let's read a little bit more. Wiping it away from my eyes, look down at myself. It's some kind of slime, and it's moving by itself. Thick goo begins to creep its way up my legs. Get it off me right now! My words don't seem to matter to it though. Its advances doesn't stop for a single moment. Panic sets in and desperately try to scrape it off. Win and Kara have already walked ahead. They can't help me now. It does not seem to help, however. It folded up my thighs and quickly gaining more ground. More grey glove slime pile into me, seemingly emerging out of nowhere. It began to envelop me. I can feel tingling sensation across my skin. To my horror, I realized that the slime devouring my clothes. Small patches of clothes began to dissolve in front of my eyes, leaving me skin completely uncovered. My armor plates are also being eaten. I have to get it off me now. I can't lose more armor. But it's plunged my hands into the attempt to get it off. All it does is move around them and get an even stronger grip on me. Now my hands are bound by slime. What remains of my armor begins to rapidly dissolve and the slime gets firmer grip on my body. Bit by bit, the clothes disappears, falling by the metal plates. No matter how hard I try to struggle against it, it's to no avail. Attempting to fight is only seeming to cause the clinching to me even tighter. I can't help but shiver as more of my translucent slime piles onto me. It's crawling across my chest now, eating my armor as it finds along the way. My entire body is enveloped by the goo now. I can't help but feel it moving across everything inch of my skin. This is such an embarrassing experience. I can't stop myself from blushing as I feel it crawling all over me. I can't hold no secrets from this time. I won't stop until I find absolutely everything it can devour. What's even worse is that I can't stop it. All I can do is wait until it's done. It's not long before most of my skin is bare. All of the items my belt have been eaten too. A long time passes before the slime finally lets me go. I can't tell how many times I crawled all over me before I finally gave up and finding more food. As it disappears back into the ground, the only thing I have left to cover myself with is my hands. I didn't even leave me with any weapon. Now that I'm completely nude and sprawling in the mud, I've only just realized how cold it is in the mires. My entire body is quaking from the chill in the air. It's strange to feel the cold yet my face so warm from blushing. Kara, Gwen! Is anyone out there? Kara, what are you... actually, we'll read that next time. So, well, that was the next part of, Sakura Fantasy. At least, well, it's gonna be fun to see what happened more in the Mayas, but at least hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. BroFive!